What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a Sly Cooper leak that happened, I believe, over the weekend, if not later on Friday. It had a tragic end to it. There's no doubt about that, but, anytime there is mention of Sly, I have to be there, right? It's kind of like a Spidey sense in me, and people sent me this. This was a leak, again, quote-unquote, from 4chan. Now, there's a couple of things immediately there that you have to realize, right? 4chan is probably, if you did like a ranking, okay, or even like a tier list in terms of where you normally get the best leaks, like the most accurate versus the worst, 4chan would probably be in the worst. Now, I'm not going to speak to the website because I'm not going there, but what I will say is it's just not a place where notable, credible leaks happen, at least for video games, okay? That's a life tip. That's something that I think will improve your mental health and all of that kind of stuff, and that's what I think. So that's number one. That immediately is like, well, I love hearing about Sly, but when you tell me it's at 4chan, it immediately breaks the fantasy world you've just created for me. So basically, the leak was very plain and simple. It was that Sly Cooper 5 is in development at Sucker Punch. Now, the sad reality of it, the sad truth, is when I was sent this, okay, there was a person that tweeted it, and they didn't leave a link, which upset me. And then there was a couple people that tagged me in this, which I greatly thank. And by the way, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter, if you guys want to follow me there. And if you ever see anything, tag me, let me know. You can direct message me, all that kind of stuff. Would love that, okay? Links in the description, or you can look me up on Twitter. So I love, being included in things. I hate to feel alone, but there was no link, and then by the time I looked for it, I couldn't find it, and then later on, I found out that the page was deleted. So, it's bad enough it was on 4chan, but then the second part to it was that it was literally taken down. So I think the odds of it being correct, and, I don't, I normally don't make these many jokes, and they're probably horrible, and nobody's laughed, and I understand that. However, there's not too much you can say, because I, of course, want Sly 5. In fact, we literally just talked to the voice of Sly Cooper on the channel. You guys can check that video out. And by the way, you can watch that for his answers on Sly 5, because I did ask him. Of course, I want Sucker Punch to make it. At this point, Sanzaru is kind of no longer with us in the way of making Sly Cooper games. They're not going to do it. So, and I don't even know if people would want them to after Thieves in Time. So, with Sly 1 through 3, that was Sucker Punch. Are half the people even still there anymore? Not really. There is still some people there, though, that made Sly. There has been interest from Sucker Punch. In fact, one of their higher-ups did say, I believe in an interview last year, that he would want to make a new Sly game. So, is there interest? Yes. Do I think it could eventually happen? Yeah, I really, really do. I've always said that, and I still believe that very, very strongly. I think Sucker Punch is probably the team. I think once they get established as a two-team developer, right, because they're kind of just one, but I really think already internally they're making themselves two different teams. Once that happens, I think a new Sly game really takes off, or a remake or something like that. Same thing with Infamous coming back, by the way. I think those things immediately, the odds, if you want to go to Vegas and bet, those odds skyrocket once they become more than a one studio team, because the other team would be working on Ghost of Tsushima content, right? So that's what I would imagine. So of course I want it. Of course I want Sucker Punch. Of course I want it in the next year or so. Obviously, again, next year being the 20th anniversary. But the sad truth of it is, I don't believe the leak whatsoever. And I didn't even, to be honest, and you guys know me, right? Or maybe you don't, but I cover a lot of leaks and rumors. And one thing, I like to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I definitely call them out when I feel like they're fake. I've said many leaks and rumors have been fake, or at least that's my belief of them, right? So I'm not afraid of doing that, but I do like to go in there kind of with a clear mind and be like, well, could it happen? I would have done that with Sly if, number one, it wasn't on 4chan, and number two, if the post wasn't removed by the time I even got there, which is, now, okay, you could say it was removed because it's true. It was removed because it was true, and they don't want people to know. I don't believe that, only because I believe the original tweet that kind of pushed it out there literally said in it, like, the source was like, just believe me, bro, or just believe me. So it's tough. What I will say on that, though, by the way, is I personally hate leaks where they have to give their bio of, like, why you should believe them. I actually do like leaks that kind of just cut straight to the chase, say, hey, I'm this I don't know, like very brief synopsis of who you are, very brief, like a sentence, and then you get into the leaks. I honestly almost respect that more than breaking down your career catalog, right? The worst part of it, though, is when you say, like, you're a janitor who like saw a whiteboard presentation in the office, or your sister's husband's daughter-in-law, come up with something. She works as an intern there and she saw something. Like, when you have to say that, that's obviously awful. But again, I'm kind of where it's like, just get to the chase. So I will say, by them saying just trust me, it isn't immediately a red flag, because I kind of almost respect that, where it's like, hey, I know this stuff. You're going to question who I am. I get that. But you know what? Get lost. I'm not going to tell you, right? Because that actually can get me in trouble big time. And I'm just going to go off in terms of what I know. Again, though, I didn't see the article. Or I didn't see the post. So I don't know, was the grammar good? Because if the grammar was horrible, it was broken English, if there was no punctuation, if there was no capitalization, then obviously that immediately hurts it. Not because, people can be lazy, but normally good leaks are a little bit better written than bad leaks. That's kind of the, I should make a video one day on how to spot fake leaks and real leaks. I think people would enjoy it. So, not what I wanted, because I want it to be true, and I don't believe it's true, but I don't believe it's true from this leaker. That doesn't mean I do think Sly will eventually happen if it hasn't already started. I do believe Kevin Miller, who's the voice of Sly, in the sense that I don't think he's gotten a call about it, but does that mean that it hasn't, kind of gotten off the ground somewhere? No, I think you could easily do that and just not have given them a call, or just not have let them know, and you will eventually, right? So I think I'm a very optimistic person on the entire thing. So let me know, guys, what you think in the comments below. Did you believe it? Do you not believe it? Do you think it can still happen kind of regardless? Let me know. As always, make sure if you haven't already, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. Leave a like on this video. Would obviously appreciate it. If you guys want to check out, again, any of my social media stuff we talked about, the Twitter, links in the description. I have a second channel called Podcast Now Plus. I do a video a day there. The link for that is in the description. We also have a Patreon and YouTube membership. You get exclusive things back to you for supporting us, so you're not just paying money just to pay money. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.